Stanton Peele, Ph.D., J.D., born January 8, 1946, is a psychologist, attorney, psychotherapist and the author of books and articles on the subject of alcoholism, addiction and addiction treatment. Publications. Peele is the author of 12 books including Love in Addiction, 1975, The Meaning of Addiction, 1985-1998, Diseasing of America, 1989, The Truth About Addiction and Recovery, with Archie Brodsky and Mary Arnold, 1991, Resisting 12-Step Coercion, with Charles Booth and Archie Brodsky, 2001, 7 Tools to Beat Addiction, 2004, Addiction Proof Your Child, 2007, and Recover, Stop Thinking Like a Addict, with Ilza Thompson, 2014, as well as 250 other, as he terms them, professional publications. Quote, "It is unclear exactly what professions are here being referenced. Some critics look at his funding by the Distilled Spirits Council of the United States, DISCUS, and the Wine Institute as evidence of unethical profiteering that provide Peele financial incentive to reach certain conclusions." Peele began his critique of standard notions of addiction when he published Love in Addiction, co-authored with Archie Brodsky. According to Peele's experiential, environmental approach, addictions are negative patterns of behavior that result from an over-attachment people form to experiences generated from a range of involvements. He contends that most people experience addiction to some degree, at least for periods of time during their lives. He does not view addictions as medical problems but as problems of life that most people overcome. The failure to do so is the exception rather than the rule, he argues. When it was published in 1975, Love in Addiction predated by almost a decade the notion of sex addiction and codependency, popularized by authors such as Patrick Carnes, whose Out of the Shadows, one of the earliest popular books to describe sex addiction, came out in 1983, and Melody Beattie, whose Codependent No More was published in 1986. Love in Addiction predated the current popular use of the terms sex addiction and codependency to describe disorders of love attachment, as these terms were not part of Peele and Brodsky's nomenclature. However, because Love in Addiction was concerned with observing the same condition of addictive human attachments, it has been argued that this is the first book to be written on the subject of codependent relationships. In reviewing the legacy of Love in Addiction, psychologist Dr. Alex Quay wrote that experiences can be addictive was a prescient notion in 1975 as psychology now embraces the concept of the process, or behavioral, addictions such as pathological gambling, compulsive eating, and sex addiction. But it must surely be to Peele's dismay that instead of rethinking substance addiction as a medical illness, psychology has gone and classified the behaviors as addictions in the same medical sense and yielded the solution into the hands of the 12 steps. Quote, views on alcoholism. Peele maintains that, depending on the person, abstinence and moderation are valid approaches to treat excessive drinking. In a Psychology Today article which compared the life process program with the disease model, he also argues against the overwhelming consensus reached decades ago by modern physicians, mental health professionals, research scientists, etc., that addiction is, in fact, a true disease. Views on 12-step treatment. In a co-authored book, Resisting 12-Step Coercion, 2001, Peele outlined his case against court-mandated attendance of 12-step drug and alcohol treatment programs. He argued that these treatment programs are useless and sometimes harmful. He presented research on alternative treatment options, and accused some addiction providers of routine violation of standard medical ethics, an accusation that is likewise often leveled at Peele. In The Truth About Addiction and Recovery, 1991, and 7 Tools to Beat Addiction, 2004, Peele laid out what he believes to be the elements of alternative treatment. He developed these ideas as the Life Process Program, which was the basis for a non-12-step residential treatment program and is now offered as an online treatment resource by Dr. Peele and colleagues. Criticism. In a review of the meaning of addiction researcher Dr. Griffith Edwards stated the following about Peele's work: with these and other issues treated in cavalier fashion, with referencing highly incomplete and crucial work often ignored, one begins to feel that this is a book where polemic and scholarship have become inextricably and unhappily mixed. Peele is not only a psychologist of distinction, but someone who can make use of sociological and biological ideas. So there's the dilemma. Quote, Acknowledgements. 1989. Rutgers Center of Alcohol Studies Mark Keller Award for Alcohol Studies for his article, The Limitations of Control of Supply Models for Explaining and Preventing Alcoholism and Drug Addiction. JSA. 48. 61-77. 1987. 1994. Alfred R. Linda Smith Lifetime Achievement Award for Scholarship from the Drug Policy Foundation. Washington, D.C. 1998. Creation of the annual Stanton Peele Lecture. 1998. By the Addiction Studies Program. Deakin University, Melbourne, Australia. 2006. Lifetime Achievement Award. 2006. International Network on Personal Meaning. Vancouver. Funding. Linda Smith Center. Now the Drug Policy Alliance. Grant to write an adolescent drug guide. 1996. The Distilled Spirits Council of the United States, Discus, and the Wine Institute provided unrestricted grants. The Stanton Peele Addiction website. The Life Process Program.